All right, folks. We want to say welcome. Thanks for joining us. This is Spoon TV. We are coming to you live from the RIA corridors, headed from the ELW junction towards the Rawafield Highway and beyond. My name is Nelson Collet, and of course, we're here, Trocon Flamma. We're driving through this corridor. We're going to be giving you an idea of what the road condition is from the RIA, from the ELW junction towards the RIA, the Rabat International Airport, and maybe a little bit beyond that. We want you to stay with us. The essence of this broadcast is to give you an idea of what this corridor looks like. There has been construction works going on along this corridor for a very long time. As most of you may be aware, this is one of the major corridors in the country, leading to Liberia's only international airport. It's a very basic corridor. People coming to Liberia, especially by means of the airport, will have a feel of Liberia, or will get to experience Liberia firstly from this end. And so this construction work started under the administration of former President George Weah. Road works here has drastically improved, especially of recent. And so we're going to be giving you an idea of what it is. But Trocon, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Nelson, and good morning to our many followers, those who usually, follow our activities on the page. It's another wonderful morning, and you can see the rising sun across Pinsville, outside of the nation's capital, Monrovia. So we just passed King Gray, one of the historic places in Liberia. King Gray has a long-standing history leading from the slave trade to the establishment of Liberia. We just passed King Gray, and we are heading now to the ELW hospital along the corridor here. And so you can see how vehicles are plying the road users, but though the road isn't yet complete, because I'm not seeing sign of
the different road signs and all of that. But one thing that is notable along this corridor, especially as we move on Trocon, is the fact that this corridor is pliable to some extent. I see the construction work is still going on. The medium is being erected along the road to divide the lanes, the two opposite lanes, to prevent a kind of head-on collision. So we have that. I saw just a few crosswalks. You see the slow down sign right before us, but the construction work is still ongoing. But in the midst of that, you notice that the road is pliable. Before now, if you were driving along this corridor, you're gonna get engaged, or you're gonna experience a very tense traffic situation.
Yeah, especially in the morning hours and evening hours. Before then, this entire corridor will be occupied by vehicles. And it's pliable now. And Nelson, one of the things that really for road users, one of the one of the problems is in terms of accident is head-on collision.
Yeah.
And this road, like the Japan freeway, it is quite different. Most of the time, people, the accidents are involved from head-on.
Yeah.
Most of the,
Vehicles who
especially
collide
in
and all of that.
single, the single, single, we don't have barrier between
Yeah.
the road. So most times you have that, especially speeding vehicles.
Yes, definitely. And but
So this is RIA.
okay, so we're in rehab. Rehab is known for producing presidents.
Yeah, somebody say you want to be president, you can't leave RIA, you'll be president.
For the past 6, going to 7 years now, former President George Weah, was from rehab, and then right after he left, his neighbor then took over. President Boakai now, former vice president.
So that president
rehab.
community.
Yeah, rehab who eventually become President Avenue. But interesting thing is that Trocon, the public works is doing some tremendous work along this corridor. That's something we can say. Just considering what we're seeing here, what is still absent from this corridor is the various road signs, the traffic signs, and all of that. My understanding is that we're supposed to see this corridor. We're supposed to see some how do you call it, street lights. This corridor is supposed to have street lights as well, because even before now, Trocon, one of the things that a lot of people complained about, especially motorists, about this corridor was how dark the place would be, especially during the night time. If you are driving along this corridor during the night, it was more like a death trap before now.
Of course, even now you see how vehicles are now running into these things along the road.
Yeah, sure. Some vehicles already started running into the medians, lay out here to separate the two opposite lanes and all of that, but yes, so a light, or some sort of lighting along this corridor will help, giving everything that people have experienced along this corridor. The concern most times is not even about the daytime driving or driving during the day. No, the major concern along this corridor has been the nighttime driving. Mm-hmm. I've come across a lot of people who would be very concerned to leave the airport earlier. There was this time when I dropped someone off at the airport, and then I came across another person who said, look, we have to be out of here as soon as possible because driving along the RIA corridor, especially during the nighttime, is a tough one. But you see, the median and all of what we saw there it hasn't reached this end yet. Mm-hmm. This place should be the Tinkers Village.
Yeah, Tinkers Village.
Okay, so we're in Tinkers Village now. So this entire corridor, there's no median yet, and you still see these big block or some sort of barricade that were all along this corridor at some point. I see they're being removed now and replaced with the layout here.
But Nelson, as we talk about the million and other stuff and lighting of the road, I don't know where there's any way that they can put a reflector on some of these millions, because at night I usually drive on this road. You hardly see anything. You hardly see anything. That's why you see many times drivers or vehicle operators will run into these things.
Yeah. You don't get to see it during the nighttime. And very few of the corridors have those kind of reflectors. I remember driving from Buchanan to Monrovia one night. That's about a year ago. And one thing I noticed was that reflector helped a whole lot because while driving, I noticed my light just got dim. For some reason, it just got dim. I could barely see ahead of me. Plus, it was raining cats and dogs. So it was a tough one. But with the help of that reflector, I was able to see my way clearly, not getting off the road, based on the frozen weather and all of those things that I experienced at the time. So yes, the reflectors along this corridor will help as well. I'm very sure that that's something that even the engineers, the folks working along this corridor, are going to take into consideration as well.
Which is true, but my other concern is, Nelson, the population on the RIA Road and beyond, the population is increasing by the day. And we have a tricycle, motorcycle plying this road. My concern has always been, why should people in this day and age, other countries are building road now, they're adding roads for tricycles, for motorcycles, just adding a piece, of the road on the other side for the tricycle and other smaller, moving objects to use. But see, this road is a highway, and people usually speed, even where we just passed Wimbatown Junction.
Okay.
Coming from Buchanan last week, and there was an accident there again, and unfortunately, I think 2 persons got seriously injured, and they were rushed to the hospital, and we don't know what happened to them. But the world is moving ahead, and they looking at our country in the next 10-20 years. I believe that this road might just be small for the population moving on the RIA Road. Imagine the main Tottenham Boulevard when that road was built. I guess at the time, the people who built that road, they were saying that the road, it was large enough, wide enough for the population. But now you can see how the time we usually stay in the traffic on that road. So it's all about sustainable, initiatives. Taking, you're not looking at maybe 2-3 years from now, and this road will go a very long way.
Definitely, it's going to go a very long way. But one thing that is okay. So as you see this corridor, you see the machines and everything there. The asphalt pavement is yet to take off here. I see the guys are working there. The engineers will be here as early as 7 a.m. Someone says engineers are used to working during the nighttime, especially the Chinese engineers. But the asphalt pavement is gradually picking up from the opposite side of the road, even to where we are. We're now driving on the crushed rocks, and a little bit of asphalt layer here. So because of that, it's even rocky a little bit. And that's something you not understand. As you see on the side of the road, the drainage system is there to be laid out as well, and the pavement is gradually taking up. So you will drive from ELW Junction on the asphalt pavement, but once you get around this end, then it's a little bit rocky. Crushed rocks along this corridor while you make your way. I think this is going to take us somewhere around the Shuffling Barracks. I think around there.
Shuffling Barrack. We might just know we'll be using the old road.
Okay.
Yeah, we will have to, after the bridge. the Monrovia, the Marquis County Bridge heading towards the Tower Hill, which time we will have to get back
Okay.
on another new pavement of the road.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So this is what it is. But usually, when you have these kinds of constructions going on, the people who live along this corridor, especially close to the road, um, get to experience some real issues. Talking about the dust, you know. I saw one of the corridors, I think is the chicken soup factory area, where the engineers will splash some water on the road, I think twice a day, just to ensure that the residents don't get affected by the dust or air pollution, all those kinds of different things. But the machines are along this corridor. So why the pavement is yet to take place, the machines are here, an indication that they're engaged with this segment of the road. But I'm yet to understand, Trokon, as to why the engineers will always leave a segment of the road and jump over one segment and move to the other segment, and then jump over another segment and move to the next one.
Yeah, most time nursing that can be because maybe in most cases it can be for the purpose of building bridges, covers, and sometimes maybe the soil within that area requires a particular engineering work, so they will have to leave that area and while they analyzing the soil texture and to do their engineering work, they can usually go to the other side. But in most cases it can be all about building a bridge or a cover, or to have that place properly fixed, so before getting the road there. So most often you will see they will have to leave a segment of the road and move on the other side.
Yeah, definitely. Yes, and that's understandable, because a single road will have different layers of, let's say, different kinds of soil and all those different aspects. So there are places where they have to build bridges. Along this corridor, I'm aware that you have a bridge or two along this particular corridor. And that will call for a whole work there. Some of the bridges will have to be reconstructed, and all of that will have to go on, and so on. So yes, this is where we are. But Chokon, interestingly, former President George Weah broke ground for this project in 2021. In 2021.
So where you were given the nickname Bad Road Medicine.
Yeah, sure. When he was named Bad Road Medicine. So let's hold it at that. So the Bad Road Medicine broke ground for this project in 2021. And as of that time, 2021, this corridor was about 70 years old. It was about 70 years since this particular corridor was constructed. And so, 70 years ago, the idea, the vision was not, that big, that the corridor, the population would have expanded, and all of that. This place is not just a highway now. I see the guys are working there, the engineers working tirelessly. So this segment of the road is more or less still from scratch. Then you still see the red soil, the red dye and all of that. I mean, not much has been done here, except from the engineering perspective. Maybe the guys who say they've done some assessment, they've laid out something. But I see the drainages have been laid out. If you see from this end as well, the drainages are being laid out, and all of that. But aside from that, the corridor here is still ongoing massive, construction as we speak. So, um, this is a 45-kilometer road, and it's estimated at 94.5 million.
Was it then? During
Yeah,
the
then.
previous administration,
Yeah,
4.5 million.
Yeah, during the previous administration, when President George Weah broke ground for this corridor, it was estimated that it would cost some 94.5 million for this 45 kilometers of road, and so he committed his government's dedication, that the government would have been dedicated to ensuring that this project become a reality. And he was quoted as saying that, look, it's true. Since we came to office, we have broken ground and paved and constructed and completed many kilometers of new roads within various communities that have suffered from terrible conditions of living with unpaved roads across the country. So this was one of the projects, Trocon, that the former President George Weah was very proud of, and like you stated earlier, he was named the Bad Road Medicine, especially when he took up time to outline the different initiatives they've undertaken with respect to roads across the country. So I mean, he was very proud. It was a great moment on the 20th of February 2021 when he broke ground for this particular corridor. But yes, and that was about what 3 years into his administration, because the government was inaugurated on the. Okay, so you see, this particular lane we're driving on Trocon is the actual lane that was here. This is how the road used to be. Yeah, but if you see from the left and right side, is an indication of the additional layer of the road as a result of what the government now wants to do. This is the from the right side, that's what the government is adding, and on the left side, and that's what the government is adding as well. So this particular corridor used to be like this: one lane going, one lane coming. Everybody got you have to fight your way through it like that. You just have to fight your way through it that way.
The only route we had at the time leading to our international airport for all the years,
But Trocon, it became even more concerning when there was the introduction of motorcycles and keke along this corridor. With the keke, some of the keke guys will park right on the road, putting their passenger down.
Yeah.
So the taxi drivers parking right on the road, putting their getting their passengers to disembark. So it became a major one. And this corridor, in no time, became known for that whole traffic situation, that whole jam traffic kind of situation, because I mean, it was busy. The population had increased, and there wasn't that much with respect to safety regulation. The corridors were dark, or have been dark as always, unless now that the construction is going on, and we're looking forward to seeing how it's going to go. So all of those different issues, raised concerns, and it was good that the government saw reason to prioritize the reconstruction of this corridor.
Mm-hmm. And see the number of Liberians moving on this side. I can say probably maybe the middle income, population of the country moving on this side. You can see the houses being built. the way they are constructed, majority of the houses here, they are not like those slum community houses. It says a lot about what needs to be done here on this road, not only to just construct and leave this road like this. I believe that aside from this road, there should be alternative roads.
Okay.
This is why we talk about, sustainable development. It is not only the road. Just imagine if the coastal road,
The coastal highway.
the coastal highway had been built. It would have come from the behind the executive mansion all the way along the sea. It goes to Marshall and heads to
As you see from the left and right sides of the road there, I mean, this should be around the Baptist Seminary.
No, almost Shefflin Barrack.
Okay, we headed towards the Shefflin Barrack.
Dwazo.
Okay, so this corridor has a lot of work. It has a long way to go through. As you see from this end, the guys are just laying out the drainage. The drainage system is just being laid out. The crushed rocks on the left and right sides of the road. We're yet to get to that point where there will be the asphalt pavement and all of that. The old layer of the asphalt pavement, the one that's over 70 years old, is the one that we're driving on now. And that's basically what the vehicles from the opposite lane are making use of at the moment. So what that means is that we have a long way to go. And if you see from this end, the machine is just, trying to create the drainage path and all of that, while the guys are, moving with the machine and doing the layer for the drainages and all of that. If you look on the both sides of the road here, through on both the left and right sides, you'll notice that the drainage is yet to be laid out. There are some like the light poles you just saw there in the project way. If the drainage was to extend towards that end, then obviously that there's going to be, okay, so here the people have to cross. So yes, a lot needs to be done along this corridor, but at least to some extent, it's been opened up. The crushed rocks are on the road, though the old layer is still here. But I remember the last time truck and I drove along this corridor, it wasn't this way. That's a few months ago. It was about a few months ago. It wasn't this way. But I think the guys are doing some work here.
No,
this entire side has now been opened up, aside from the fact that this side, this is the barracks right here. And on the left, on the right side here, you see the road is still the same. This is exactly how the corridor was, even before the construction and stuff like that. This is how it was. So I don't know if from this end the road is going to further expand here and not touch the barracks.
No, this is how they do it. They take this side because of the barracks.
So they're avoiding touching the barracks?
Yeah, so that's why they have to shift the entire road on this side. But you might not notice.
No, for me, I think I noticed it because when we drove, when
they are done.
When they're done, you might not notice it. But driving here, I took notice of the fact that this lane we're driving on was in the middle. There was a layer of crushed rocks from both sides of the road, as we drove. And then once we got closer to the barracks, then I noticed that the lane we're driving on is on the right side instead of being in the middle. But I'm taking notice of the lights, the light poles, the running of the wires at the far end there. I don't know if you took notice of that. Is it something that was there before? Because I really don't remember seeing these layers of let's say the light poles and stuff like that.
They're just doing a transitional period. So it means that the blueprint of this road and everything started. So they were aware that the road will extend that far during the ministership of Madam Ruth Coco Collins.
When she was Minister of Public Works.
Yeah, I can still recall there was a press conference where we asked particularly about the high tension line being built close to the road, and she asserted that they weren't built close to the road. They were erected to a particular place where there would be no interference with the road and the road construction and the the high tension line, and exactly you can see how far they are from.
So there's a barracks here. You see our guys, our military men, the guys out there,
So you can see.
Wow, that's a great view right before us there. The road is gradually taking shape.
But one of the things that Liberians continue to raise is the fight administration, Honorable President. We are in this administration. Which one of the administration should take credit? Which one of the administration is doing well with the road?
Oh wow, a very good number of the drainage stuff. But so this place is more like a hub for the entire.
So you see the court here, the building.
This is more like a hub where they're doing most of the construction of the materials they're using for the road, like the cover. I saw a lot of them in there, and even the concrete that they're using in the drainages. I saw a lot of them in there as well. But Chukon, this corridor, man. So we're on Tower Hill right now.
No, we're not on Tower Hill.
This is
heading to
Marshall. We're headed to Boston.
Yeah, right.
Boston
This
Junction.
is the barrack hill, a little hill before the junction. Tower Hill is still ahead.
But one thing I noticed is that this hill was broken down a little bit because
obviously
driving through this particular corridor back then, it wasn't like this. It wasn't like this. The hill was broken down a little bit, and I think that was a good thing too because the way people drive, along these corridors and stuff like that, you will have to do everything as you can, do everything possible to minimize. Now, two things will have to be minimized along our corridors. Number one is the hills, the too many hills along our corridors, and the second one is the
curves.
The curves. We have too many curves now. If you drove from Monrovia to Kakata, so this is one of the major areas that a lot of work is going in right now. This is one of the major areas that a lot of work is going in right now. The machine is still working. Interestingly, all of the property owners along this corridor whose properties fell within the project way were being compensated. And yes, this is where we are. But I was just saying the issue with curves and the hills along our corridor is something to look at as well, because you cannot adequately address, or you can easily address the too many road fatalities and all of that without addressing the issue of curves. We have we have to go right. I see detour right, so we are using this end. Wow. So everything along, a lot of things along this corridor now is kind of strange to me. So there's a detour of the traffic. So this road leads to Marshall. The people from Marshall. This road leads to Marshall.
Yeah, this is the Marshall route.
It takes you to, and there are lots of resorts along this corridor. As a matter of fact, lots of
several
resorts along this corridor.
residential areas.
Yeah.
Also.
So
place
we're
to
trying to now make use of the detour. There was something like a bridge or overpass, something. I remember there was something along this particular place.
I think they tried to reconstruct that, maybe to make it large,
Okay.
to accommodate the new construction that they have now.
Okay, so
you can see where we are headed now. The guys are working, and like I was saying, Nelson, after the former president broke ground for the road, and there was some money. The initial tranche of the money was given at about 22 million, and then there was a serious issue about providing finance to commence the work and all of that. Until the transitional period, the work was slow, and then the Senate had to intervene and call the contractors, East International, and the Ministry of Public Works, and all of that. And the Senate had to intervene. The Senate Committee on Roads had to intervene, and then they make a lot of recommendations, and they investigated that some of it, there was no competitive bidding done, and there was serious there was serious issues surrounding the way the contractors subcontracted other contractors, and the quality of the road and all of that. So they had to go and review the entire contract, and they made recommendations. And those recommendations were given to East International, and money was provided. So if you carefully watch the trench of this road, is since the transitional period, it has been speeding up. A lot of Liberians are concerned about what happening to the road. It's going faster than the previous administration. Those were some of the issues surrounding, the previous administration. Why?
Yeah, definitely. Trocon. So, just going back a little, a few things about this road. I remember when we saw the groundbreaking ceremony and all of that. Work started, and things was pretty much very fast. And then in no time, the road slowed down. The road was more like on a pause, not even on a slow motion, but on a pause. And then the road project slowed down from that 2021, just in a few months when everything was moving so fast. This project slowed down for over a year or two. But once we got in 2023, during the election year, then the road project picked up again, And I remember Senator DeLong at some point raised serious concern about the snail pace at which this project was moving. And he considered this particular this corridor as a death trap, because according to him, the roads were being damaged. There were deep holes in the road, and all those detours and all of those things along this corridor. But then there wasn't anything like light along the corridor already. No light. Then the road was on a pause. All the pop holes, the very deep holes, the drainages on the left and right sides of the road, no light to direct
anything to separate the road.
Nothing. Absolutely. And so it became a major concern. Citizens started to raise concern. Why if the government was not ready to construct the road, why did the president break ground for the road? And so those were the concerns at the time when Senator DeLon now said, "Look, that road is a death trap," and all of those things he said. But look at where we are. In 2023, during the election year, the road construction took off. At some point again, it slowed down. But now we've seen, everything is now moving very fast, very, very fast. In about a year or so, the improvement on this road, the progress made on this road is just something unimaginable. Trucker, it's just unbelievable. I remember driving on this corridor sometime some months back, and usually it would take you a little over an hour, from Monrovia to get to the airport. But that day, I took like 45 minutes, 1 hour, pretty close to 1 hour. I was already at the airport, and I was thinking, but then one thing I noticed was that the road, several segments of the road had already been paved very well. This is one of the rear areas on this road.
Yeah.
It scares me every time I drive
here. So you see the tension line, the road is moved on the other side where you don't have the high tension.
Okay. Yeah, right. Yeah. That's another thing. So there's a twist and flip, at every point on the road. That's something I'm noticing, Chokon. Based on where you are at a particular time and what the infrastructures are that are in that particular corridor, the road, there will be a flip or whatever. So like you saw with the barracks, the road flipped over to the left side, and then here is on the right side. But there's a bridge ahead, and this is where it becomes very interesting. If the corridor is to be extended, then Trocone means that this bridge will also have to be extended.
Preparation. Yeah,
okay.
You have it.
Okay.
Already making preparation.
Okay. So you want to.
They're already making preparation for the.
Okay.
Bridge.
So that's. So I'm thinking, are they going to construct another bridge next to this bridge?
Exactly.
Or are we going to see this bridge being broken down and then
this bridge will be discarded and the new bridge, which the preparation is being made, will be constructed. So as you can see.
So because the corridor is a major one, I think
the bridge has to be constructed to accommodate the road.
Yeah. Yeah.
The wideness of this road, the bridge has to be constructed.
Well, another thing I was looking at too, Chokon, is the fact that because this corridor is a major one, I think this bridge they're gonna build the one on the opposite side to permit vehicles people having access to the road before discarding the old bridge to construct a new one.
Of course. Obviously, that's how it works. There's no way you can destroy the old one and you don't have the
you don't have something.
But, so we are heading Tower Hill. You can see the hill ahead of you. This is an extraordinary road being built here in Nelson. It's a landmark road, the only highway very wide in the country that you can see. And I think this is one of the iconic infrastructure being done by the government of Liberia. And it needs to be done properly. So not only, people can fly on the road with their vehicles and all of that, but also it can be admirable. People driving on the road, they admire the beauty of the road. PS especially, this is a highway. People who are coming into the country for the first time, so they can say these people are serious people. Yeah,
so I see we in the middle again. On on the left and right sides of the road, construction works. So for the Tower Hill, again, like we saw with that hill before Bosstown, the guys are going to do some real work along.
They are doing it. They are
trying to break down the
yeah.
hill a little bit, so as to enable
this particular hill during the time of when the
what
road,
is this guy slowing down or what?
No, man, this is a Tower Hill. This is a much publicized, as you say, infamous.
Yeah, a lot of terrible things have happened here.
Here.
This is where we lost the District 15, former District 15 lawmaker, Representative Adolph Lawrence, Adolph Akwe Lawrence.
A lot of terrible things happening
on his way from Grand Bassa County that early morning. Yeah. So you know,
up the hill.
Oh, something that's of serious import, that is of serious concern is the lighting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you talk about safety, you know, in all of those different things as far as safety and everything is concerned. The lighting will play a major role in ensuring the safety of people along this corridor, because come to think of the fact that vehicles will just break down in the middle of the road. It's more like a normal thing in the country now, you know, where you're driving, it becomes even terrible during the night time.
Mm-hmm.
You're driving during the night, there's a vehicle that's breaking down, there's no traffic triangle, no traffic cone, no sign, no signal, nothing to indicate. Aside from the fact that some of the guys will weed grass and just put it along the road, the different corridors, expecting you to know. But what happens to that person who is not familiar with the Liberian kind of way of doing it, to say that a grass on the road will indicate that there's a breakdown ahead? Is that the standard way? No. So
this time we shouldn't be even using grass for it really doesn't make sense, especially in the city center. You see people doing all of that.
Yeah, so it's very important. There's a need for lights along this corridor, so that in case of a breakdown, someone driving will see from afar that there's a vehicle that's breaking down on the road, and you know, they will have to do this, that, XYZ, or whatever. But in the absence of that, it becomes very terrible. So you can see this segment of the road has not been touched. Absolutely nothing has been done here. So once you come down from the Tower Hill,
a few meters away, the East International has the other contractors doing the other portion. We will soon get on that portion, which is being done now. Almost at the
that's the final layer before the airport.
Yeah,
that's the final layer before the airport. You're right. That's the final layer there before the airport. But yes, we're not too far from the airport now. But this entire corridor hasn't been touched. And if you wanted to know how this road used to look like before the construction, this is exactly how it was. Yeah, this was this has been our international road, or the road leading to the international airport for several decades, for many decades. This is how it's been. For
sad,
all that long.
Man. So sad. See the country.
And Trukun, come to think about it, the road is small. That's the first thing about it. Very, very small. And then the next thing is that there's no light.
Absolutely.
There's no median
No
dividing
safety.
the two opposite lanes. No median.
No sound.
No sidewalk. No light.
Parking light. No parking lot. No
No.
bus stop.
Yeah, no bus stop. No reflector. I mean,
No drainage.
no drainage at all. And this is what we've been living with for decades, for over 1 century. For over 1 century. This is what we've been living with for over 1 century. Now, you go back to when the groundbreaking ceremony took place. That was in 2021, Chokon. Maybe we're going to do a little bit of math here. And in 2021, this corridor was 70 years old. Chokon, 70 years old in 2021. So, from 2021 to 2025, this corridor is already 74 years old. So, for 74 years, this is the road we had as our international highway, the highway leading to the international airport, a major corridor. But another thing about these corridors too, the good thing about it is that the roads were built very well, Chokon. Come to think about some roads that were built in just few years,
Yeah.
the Dole community, the road, the Frida road,
Yeah,
those roads have
yeah,
started
yeah.
damaging in less time.
Politicians will say the road are evaporated.
Yeah, in less time, those roads, I drove along the Dole community corridor just the other day. Chokon, you will not believe the number of potholes along the Dole community corridor right now. But look at a road that was built over 70 years ago, and you can still drive.
Recondition, they have
Yeah.
the wall, but just imagine.
Yeah, but I mean, to a larger extent, it's still good.
Okay, this is it.
Okay, so this is the final corridor.
I think
The highway or at some point will slow down power, water, and let me tell you.
so like this side completed. They also see the outlook.
Yeah, this is
line and
yeah, and interestingly, this corridor has that yellow line you see is more like a reflector. It's kind of reflective. If you're driving here during the nighttime, you're gonna take notice of that. You see the car is turning, but no signal light. No signal to indicate. You saw the motorcyclist.
The driver here.
Wow.
That signal.
You saw the motorcyclist waving to us to slow down. No signal. But Chokon, this is just beautiful. I mean, just looking at the corridor before us, they lay out the pavement and everything. It's just so beautiful. And you see, drive with care, a caution right there. As we are now. So this one takes us to the RIA the RIA corridor. This particular one takes us to the RIA corridor, which is a very beautiful one, taking us all the way to RIA. You can see how beautiful it is.
Outside, the other side.
Yeah, this is just the link going. The other one.
So even if I don't know if you drive reckless, in a way you want to drive coming from the opposite lane, you have nothing to do on the other side here.
Oh yeah, definitely. This is just so amazing. But Chokon, what is still missing from this corridor is the drainage.
Yeah, the drainage.
I don't see a drainage here yet. So it means that this
lights,
corridor is not completed yet.
But the lights are also not.
So it means that the road has a shoulder. So this one we're on, the one on the left are the 2 lanes going, and the one on where the motorbike is riding right now is more like a sidewalk, or the shoulder of the ride. I think this is pretty
shoulder
good.
for the motorcycle or tricycle. They could do that.
Yeah,
it's interesting to see the motorcycle using that side.
Yeah, and no one is gonna bother the motorcyclists.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be engaged with the cars and all of that. You're trying to dodge the vehicles like we see in central town.
Central Town.
But you can still see that this corridor is undergoing construction. Aside from this place being the highway and stuff like that, Trocon, this place is gradually becoming a residential area as well. There are a lot of people who live along this corridor, and that's why there will have to be some real safety features here. So we on this is a lane, this is the opposite lane. We're just on the other one, but I think there's still some work going on from that end, so we had to use the opposite lane, and it's still moving. I mean, we still the pavement here is great, except where the engineers will have their own evaluation of it. But speaking from the surface, not as an engineer,
that's one of the things I noticed.
I can say
the pavement is good.
Yeah, there's not much of a racket. So, Chokon, come to think about how this thing would be if we were to just have this kind of layout, man, from ELW Junction straight up to the RIA, and maybe extending to Buchanan and other parts of the country. I mean, look at how beautiful the road is from all sides, Trocon. If we're just to have this kind of pavement, along our different corridors, this would be a good start. And this reminds me of a recent press conference conducted that was held by Senator Numeni Batikwa of River G. That's River G County. Sorry, that's Grand Crew County. Numeni Batikwa, yeah, Grand Crew County. When he said the people in that part of the country, and he was speaking on behalf of his people, that life is unbearable for them. That the banks have left the capital city. They have left the county. Some NGOs and some people were refusing to go there. Why? Because of just one reason. The place is inaccessible. The road conditions are terrible. That even the farmers, the people who make their farm and all of that, they don't get to benefit that much, because before you put that thing on some kind of motorbike or tire, before you get to the market, most of your produce will get spoiled. So he was raising the concern that since there was an assessment done that we need how many billion, 1 billion or whatever, to construct all of the corridors in the country, he was suggesting that the government should see reason to borrow. Just borrow as much as you can. Which way are we going? This way? Okay. I don't see any sign here for now, but I think we should be on our lane. So he was suggesting that the government should borrow some money and, construct all of the major corridors in the country. That gradually it will pay off. But who's going to borrow us $1 billion to construct all the different corridors in the country? But think of how the economy will boom, Chokon, if we just had this a layout, a road like this, connecting to as far as Grand Crew, Riverside, Sino, Maryland, connecting to different parts of the country. That would mean a whole lot for a country like Liberia that has been through a whole lot.
Which is true, Nelson. You're right. And one of the things that the National Road Fund and the Public Works are trying to do is to develop a road policy on toll, having toll on many of the roads they are doing now. So so they can be able to generate funds from those toll that they will have on the various roads that they're doing currently to complement the current National Road Fund that we have, to complement. If the road fund is also generating money, the to be generating money and all of that. I think they put out a bill for people to develop policy.
Yeah, the toll system would be a very good one, Trokon. There are just a lot of things we have to put in place, but the toll system would be a very good one. We're in a country where, and maybe that's part of the human nature, where we don't want to spend. A lot of our citizens will not want to spend something small to get a particular system working. Take for example the system that was introduced by my Mary bro at the time when she was at the MCC, where if you went to Central Town and parts of Monrovia and you park for a certain number of time, you had to pay a little fee to the parking attendants. You will not believe that a lot of people will go into heated argument with the parking attendants. A lot of people will park, and once it's time for them to leave, they will be washing the space. When the parking attendant goes to attend to another car, ooh, they get in the car and run away. So, I mean, I've seen parking attendants literally running after drivers. My money, my money, my money, my money, and before you know, boom, that driver pick up and go. So, that's it's funny, but it's serious, right? That's the thing with us, Strokon. Most times, we're not willing. Okay, we want development. We want all the good things to happen. We see all the fun things that are happening in other countries. We want it to happen with us, but we're not willing to make the sacrifices.
Which is true. Change is hard for people to accept.
So that's where the road ends. So I don't know if they're going to extend it all the way to the Ralphie Highway, but that's where the road ends. So far, everything I've seen, that's where the road ends. So if you say the road up to RIA Highway, then at least you should go to the intersection there.
No, you're going all the way to the RIA.
Yeah, go to the intersection there. But
that's it.
Yeah.
But Nelson, like you were saying, change is hard, and the difficult part is you use this road for many years free, and they just brought a machine and set it there and say you put the money there before you cross there. Imagine Liberians.
That machine should really be working correct.
The machine should be strong. People got stealing from there and go carry.
Because imagine the solar lights that were mounted. You know the Carwell area used to be a very great corridor. Under former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, it was one of the beauties of the country, one of the beauties of the administration. That Carwell corridor, the Ministry of Health, and a few other projects. I mean, I remember those were all projects that were on billboards, trying to showcase some of the tremendous progress the government had made at the time. But Trokon, you know that it came a time when some of the disadvantaged youth, some of the disadvantaged youths were climbing on that pole in the middle of the night and removing the solar from the lights. And in no time, that entire Carwell corridor is now dark, it's filthy. The beauty we once saw over the time has vanished, and it's just that way. So yes, the thought. Yeah. So the
thought. Already on the wall.
Yeah. So
I don't know how much it will cost to maybe have an electronic
billboard.
Yeah, billboard here that we advertise. That, and all of that.
And you're right.
You see the people writing on the wall in a day.
Yeah, you're right, Trokon. An electronic billboard indicating the RIA Highway and stuff like that. Because we have the Liberia Civil Aviation Authority right here, you know. So this entire place is just about that. So if we had something like that, it would be something that even businesses will want to advertise on.
Yes, because
and
that
stuff
place
like
is
that.
a very broad place, and you can see putting an electronic billboard down there will benefit the RIA, but instead,
So we're leaving RIA now. We're going to a destination.
yes.
We're headed towards Firestone, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, one of our longtime partners, Firestone.
Firestone is 1926,
Yeah, but
27. Firestone.
So the first thing that will welcome you to Firestone is the rubber trees.
Yeah.
The rubber trees. And you see this little booth, the immigration officer is there. Very young guys are in the immigration these days. Gentlemen, how you guys doing? Oh yeah, we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
Huh?
Go.
Oh, okay.
So we're making our way.
Sugar, you not believe some of what happens along this corridor. Maybe it's not something for us to say on camera for now. But you heard that guy saying go.
Hey,
A
man,
lot of things
I want
involved.
you to be around. They're doing that OPS. But man, go. We don't
A
want
lot of
loss
things
on you.
involved. The guy have already seen the spoon microphone here up here, and then you see the live on the man say go. You know, I don't know why he double our own
No,
go.
because of the taxi, he really wanted to
Yeah.
speak to this guy.
Yeah, he wanted to do the
regular
regular engagement. So the guy just came and overtook us. So the guy made sure that he was on camera, and the only thing the officer could say go.
Yeah.
But the first thing, like I was saying, Trukon, the first thing that will welcome you to Firestone are the rubber trees, you know. But Trukon, have we ever wondered why this road is still like this? This is the operational side of Firestone.
Of course, and this is the Firestone Road. It's not like Ring Government Road. So
yeah, and I understand, and I know
within
the plantation.
The plantation, so
the plantation. But could we have done it a little bit better than what it is?
But the road heading to Grand Bazaar is a land that it should have been on the other side behind the Pavement Hotel, straight to Grand Bazaar. It shouldn't be on this side. This is Firestone just accommodating Liberians. So the day
you think they're accommodating Liberians?
Yeah.
Or are Liberians accommodating them? Which of the two?
The people pay, my man. The people pay. 1927 signed this concession agreement by President King. You know, President King recorded in history as one of the brutal dictator of Liberia. The man signed this thing. 100 years, he knows that he was not going to be around. Even a great-grandchildren wouldn't be around. He gave this land out to Firestone. 99 years, and it was renewed. And then this is the operational side. These people pay huge taxes to government. They pay a lot of money to the government of Liberia. Other than that, they provide job opportunities for Liberians. And this is their operation area. So when you're using a road, you can demand to make the road wide, like where we're coming from. No, this is just for Firestone truck.
You know, for me, I look at it a bit differently, Chokon. Because yes, I can understand from one angle. If you were to lease a property to someone, the person is in charge of it. They decide, how to go about their property and stuff like that. But in the case of concession agreements and all of those things, these are things that can usually be revisited. So take for example, what happened with the China Union thing that our own brother Fode Famole took on, right? They went into agreement. China Union is operating in that part of the country in the bond mines area, but as part of that corporate social responsibility, there are certain things that they're supposed to do. There are certain things that they're supposed to do as part of that corporate social responsibility. You don't want to operate in a particular area for over 1 century and have absolutely no improvement in that area, and that's just the other side of it. And I know others will say that, oh, the people, they're paying their taxes and all of that, but even the corridors that people got to drive on through these places are just something else to talk about. Granted that yes, the people paying their taxes and all of that, but that's just another thing to look at. I mean, at some point we need to get gas. We have to get gas. So you want us to end the broadcast now, and maybe at some point we'll pick up again.
Break, yeah.
Yeah, we'll take a break. But do we have another gas station here? I don't think so. We have another gas station?
No.
So there's the only point. We'll have to stop here to get gas. Folks, I want to say thanks to all of you for watching Spoon TV. I'm Nelson Colette, Trocon Flaman here. Shortly, we'll be ending this broadcast now. We'll come back shortly to continue. We're going to come back to continue this broadcast. But I want to say thanks to all of you for watching Spoon TV. I'm Nelson Colette, Trocon Flaman. We're headed somewhere out of town. We're going to, wow.